103.5 FM.
Your integrity station.
Douglas scores! What a goal! That's it!
Get in the game. Feel the thrill. Sport Today, we keep it real. Scores and news from the English Premier League, Spanish La Liga, France League 1, Germany Bundesliga, Italia Serie A, Nigeria Premier Football League, Formula 1, basketball, tennis, boxing, all day long. Tune in now where sports belong. On your super dial, every play, every win makes you smile. Join us live, don't miss a beat. For the love of sports, our passion's complete. Sport Today, your sport headquarters, where action speaks louder just for you. An honor, 103.5 FM. We're in the zone for sports fans everywhere. Welcome home.
Jimenez scooping it backwards. Jota at the volley, oh, what a goal! That is simply stunning! Trying to stand a lovely ball over the top for Jota. Jota's in behind, it's the penalty area. Oh! Diogo Jota! Coming short, is going to try and chip it over. Flag stay down. Jota into the penalty area. Jota! Oh, what a goal! Diogo Jota! Jota making a breakthrough. He's got Marshall ahead of him. Jota up towards the edge of the penalty area himself. He's going to shoot! Oh!
News that's coming into us from FA in Spain. They are reporting that the Liverpool and Portugal forward, Diogo Jota, has died after a car crash in the northwest of the country. Diogo Jota, who has been playing for Liverpool since he signed from Wolverhampton Wanderers in September of 2020, said to have died in that car incident. It's not clear at this point whether or not he was the only individual in the car. The only detail we have is that he has died in that crash in the northwest of Spain. Jota, who scored 16 goals for Liverpool, playing 67 times for them in the previous 2 seasons, has also won the Premier League, of course, last season, won the FA Cup for Liverpool in 2022, as well as the Carabao Cup in 2022 and 2024. Now, he was signed by Liverpool, as I said, in September of 2020, moving there from Wolverhampton Wanderers, where he'd been hugely successful and really established Wolves as a Premier League club, a very versatile forward, play all the way across the front line. He originally began his career out in Spain at Atletico Madrid before moving on to Wolves, making a number of appearances, scoring some 17 goals as they moved up from the Championship into the Premier League. He spent a year on loan as well in Porto to try and establish himself as a player, and he had now established himself as a player for both Liverpool and for the Portuguese national side, which has of course looked to move on with Cristiano Ronaldo getting older and older. This news that Diogo Jota has died has been received with great sadness, not only by those Liverpool fans, but of course those Portuguese fans as well. Diogo Jota, just a young man dying in a car crash in the northwest of Spain.
Right, it was a sad Thursday for football lovers and Liverpool lovers and of course a Portuguese lover, because we lost one of the most promising footballer right there in the English Premier League. Talking about Diogo Jota, who died in a car accident earlier today right there in Spain. On that note, I welcome you to the Thursday edition of Sport Today on the biggest sporting platform on 103.5 FM. Yes, in case you don't know, we are broadcasting live from Bodija here in the brown roof city of Ibadan to give you the latest and of course the biggest coming from the world of sport. On the show this afternoon, we take a dive into the scenario that happened in Spain in early hours of today involving Liverpool player talking about Diogo Jota and of course his junior brother talking about Andre. They were both involved in a car accident early hours of today in Spain. We'll look into the scenario on the show this brief Thursday afternoon. We also take stories from the Nigerian football scene, what is going on between Samson Siasia and Mikel Obi. Yes, we'll look into that conversation on the show this afternoon. Take a dive into the camp of the Flying Eagles of Nigeria as they are getting set for the big games ahead of them. We'll look into that on the show. Don't you worry. We'll also travel into the latest coming from the NFF headquarters from Abuja this afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, in case you're still wondering, this is the best platform to serve you the latest, the biggest information coming from the world of sport. We also take stories from our CAF this afternoon. We travel to the world of transfer and to update you about the latest transfer sagas making the round in the world of football. Welcome to the driver. Welcome home. This is Sport Today on the biggest sporting platform on 103.5 FM. My name is Ayomikun Adeniyi. Of course, you can simply call me Purity. You can join the conversation live on Facebook at on 103.5 FM. Share, comment, and of course, I like this program. Yes, let's start the show in proper. Of course, I will take the stories from Spain this morning to inform you of the latest coming from the world of football this afternoon. Yes, earlier today we got a report involving Liverpool forward Diego Jota, which died in a car accident in Zamora, Spain. The 28-year-old just wedding just 2 weeks ago with his longtime girlfriend. Talking about Cardozo in Porto. Diego died alongside his 26-year-old brother Andre in a tragic car accident after their vehicle caught fire. Okay, according to eyewitness who called 112, the car was engulfed with flame, which also spread to the nearby vegetation, and of course several sources suggested that the car tire has busted, of course, that caused into the flame of that car. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it was a sad moment, and of course a sad moment for football lovers, especially Liverpool lovers. What about Portugal fans? Because one of the biggest attacking footballer, Diego Jota, of course, is no more. Right, away from that one, now let's take stories from the Nigerian football scene. And of course, over the week, we have back and forth between Coach Samson Siasia and John Mikel Obi. And of course, it has been a whole lot. But then we have the latest also involving to that saga on the show this afternoon, because John Shitu, that was the former agent of John Mikel Obi, replying to Samson Siasia claim. And of course, before we dive into that, let's listen one sign again to Samson Siasia claim that Mikel, through his agent, offered him 50,000 euros for 2028 Beijing Olympic.
Mikel cannot come. And Mikel wasn't the starter in Chelsea then. It was the bench. He wasn't the starter. And I told him, we only have one game against Ghana to play. Please, come and help us to play like it. And that was it. I said if he doesn't come, he won't go anywhere. So Mikel refused to come. That he said he's playing in Chelsea. We went to Ghana. We needed a draw, right? They brought Asamoah Gyan. Everybody came. We needed that win. Nothing happened. Played very well. At the end of the day, 0-0 qualified. Going to the World Cup or the Olympics, Mikel wants to come and play. His agent said he will give me 50,000 euros that you should come and play. I said, oh, that it's not about 50,000 euros. You didn't play to qualify. So I will take out someone that qualified us and bring you in. And you know what happened now.
Again, that is the voice of Coach Samson Siasia. Of course, John Olashitu, the former agent of Nigerian football icon, talking about John Mikel Obi, has responded to the bribing allegation made by his dream team coach, talking about Samson Siasia. And of course, speaking recently, we heard about what Siasia said to John Mikel Obi, but then John Olashitu denying that allegation, saying, I'm one of the most respected agents in the game. I do not associate myself with any damaged people. And of course, that is coming from Shitu this afternoon. Of course, we have a lot of happening between John Mikelobi and of course Samson Siasa. It's getting more intense. It's getting more interesting what is going on between the former players and of course the former coach of this Flying Eagles of Nigeria. All right, away from that now, let's take stories from the Flying Eagles camp right about now. And of course, talking about the Flying Eagles preparation for the FIFA Under-20 World Cup begins in August. Yes. This is coming from the camp of the Flying Eagles of Nigeria because the Nigerian Under-20 team, popularly known as the Flying Eagles, will commence their final phase of preparation for the 2025 FIFA Under-20 World Cup on August 4th, 2025 in Abuja. Yes, the head coach of the team, Ali Zubairu, confirmed this development in an exclusive interview with pressmen following the team training section right there in the capital city, Abuja. Let me confirm to you that the coach also noted the unique scenario where Nigeria is the only West African nation participating in the 2025 FIFA Under-20 World Cup scheduled to go down in Chile. The Flying Eagles has been drawn in Group A of the WAFU Under-20 Championship alongside host Ghana and of course Benin Republic, all in Group A. Of course, in Group B, we have Ivory Coast, Burkina Faso, and of course we have the likes of Niger Republic and Togo. The regional tournament will kick off on 10th of July in Ghana, which Nigeria opening game campaign against the host nation. They will play their first and final, they'll play their final group game against Benin Republic on the 13th of July, and of course the tournament will wrap up the 23rd of July. Nigerian two-times FIFA Under-20 World Cup finalists are one of the 4 African nations to qualify for this year's edition of the FIFA Under-20 World Cup. We have the likes of South Africa, Morocco, Egypt, all will be flying the colors of Africa later right there in Chile. All right, still talking about the camp of the Flying Eagles this afternoon because the preparation for the WAFU B Under-20 Championship is ongoing, and of course it's getting more interesting right there in the camp of the Flying Eagles of Nigeria. They will face the Capital City FC in a warm-up game scheduled to go down. Of course, it's going to be a very interesting one later this week. The encounter marks the first official friendly match since the regrouping ahead of the regional competition. Yes, that the camp of the Flying Eagles is getting more interesting because we have 2 big tournaments ahead of them. All right, from that now, let's travel to the NFF headquarters in Abuja and to update you that the Executive Committee of the Nigerian Football Federation has opted to extend the tenure of the present board of the Nigerian Premier League, MPFL, and of course our Nigerian National League, NNN, and of course we have the Nigerian Nationwide League, NNO, till the end of the tenure of the present NFF administration held by Alhaji Ibrahim Musiga. So MON. Okay, the tenure of the present NFF board will come to an end on the 29th of September 2026, having taken office on the 30th of September 2022. By this decision, the board headed by Honorable Benga Elegbele, the MPFL, Chief George Aloy of NNN, and of course we have Silas Ali of NNO. We now continue in the office till 29th of September. All right, so taking stories from the Nigerian football this afternoon, just to let you know that the Nigerian Football Federation has appointed 16 referees for the 2025 NNN Super 8 Championship that will be going down from July 5 to 12 of this month right there at the Stephen Keshi Stadium in Asaba. Yes, we have several officials, 16 of them who will be officiating those games. We have referee Solomon from Plateau State. We have Bashiru Adamu Adamu from Kaduna State. We have Abubakar Zubairu from Katsina State. We have Anthony Eze from FCT right there in Abuja. We have Farouk Abdulrahman from Lagos. And of course, our referee from the NNN, we have Stanley from Enugu State. Henry someone from Edo State. We have Kalu Ezinchi from Abia State. Of course, we have others from the MPFL. Also, referees are like Muhammad Ibrahim from Zamfara State. Aminu from Zamfara State. We have Zachariah from Akwa Ibom State. Of course, it's going to be a very big one later this month right there in Asaba. All right, away from that now, let's take stories from MPFL and to update you the transfer stories are making the run because Zambia Giants table a 2 years offer for Shooting Stars defender. Shooting Stars defender Samuel Ayodele Pamidele is set to complete a move to Zambia powerhouse. Talking about the Dynamos, it's going to be a very interesting move for this central back from Shooting Stars of Ibadan. Power Dynamo are boasting of strengthening their team ahead of the new season, and of course they are looking in the way of getting this versatile defender from Shooting Stars. We wait and see what will happen. Whereas right there in Kano, Kano Pillars unveiling new management for their youth team. Yes, Kano Pillars has been on the news this season. They are getting set for the big season later to come. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you are still on to sport today on the biggest sporting platform on 103.5 FM. And in case you don't know, we are broadcasting live from Bodija. Here in the brown roof city of Ibadan. Right about now, we'll be going on a short commercial break. And when we return from this break, I will travel straight to CAF headquarters and take the latest information from CAF this afternoon. Also, we take stories from tennis, don't you worry. And we'll update you from the latest transfer saga making the round in the world of football. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back.
On the 103.5 FM.
Your integrity station.
Daddy, Mommy, ṣé ti gbọ́ nípa new opportunity tó ń lọ lọ́wọ́ fún àwọn ọmọdé nílé iṣẹ́ Cool Global Interlinks Travels Limited.
Cool Global Interlinks Travels Limited.
Àǹfààní ńlá láìlẹ́gbẹ́ lélẹ́yìí láti lè ṣe Cool Global Interlinks Travels Limited fún àwọn ògo wẹrẹ láti lọ rè kàwé lórílẹ̀‐èdè Canada, US, United Kingdom pẹ̀lú àwọn ilé ẹ̀kọ́ ilẹ̀ òkèèrè. Ìwé kíkà dìrọ̀rùn fún àwọn ọmọ tí ń bẹ láàrin ọdún 7 sí ọmọ ọdún 17, 7 years to 17 years. Pàbàmbarì ibẹ̀ ní àǹfààní tí ń bẹ fáwọn òbí láti tẹ̀lé ọmọ tó bá fẹ́ lọ rè kàwé lórílẹ̀‐èdè Canada láti lè máa ṣalábòójútó ẹ̀ ní kété tó bá ti ń parí ẹ̀kọ́ rẹ̀ ní ọba yín ṣètò bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe máa dọmọ nílùú. Àkọ́kọ́ orú ẹ̀ lélẹ́yìí ẹ̀yin òbí àtàlágbàtọ́ ẹ jẹ́ kí ilé iṣẹ́ Cool Global Interlinks Travels Limited tí wọ́n bá yín mú àlàyé àwọn ọmọ yín wá sí ìmúṣẹ. Fún àlàyé lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́ ẹ máa bọ̀ wá sẹ́dọ̀ ọ́fíìsì Cool Global Interlinks Travels Limited tó wà ní 72 Rẹ̀mílẹ́kùn House opposite Adamasingba Stadium Adékúnlé Fájuyì Road Ìbàdàn. Ẹ pè wá sórí 080 777 52646.
Cool Global Interlinks Travels Limited.
Imagine having the freedom to work, play, and connect without interruptions. That is what fast internet means to us. At Highwood Networks, we are passionate about delivering super fast, unlimited internet that is 6 times faster than the competition. Whether you're working from home, running a business, or streaming your favorite shows, we've got you covered. A reliable internet and 24/7 customer support ensure you stay connected all the way. So what are you waiting for? Join the iWorld Networks family today and discover a seamless internet experience. Call Jeffrey on 081 3058 9466 or visit our website www.iwn.ng to get started. iWorld Networks, connected possibilities.
On the 103.5 FM.
Your integrity station.
Right, welcome back from that short commercial break. You are still on to sport today, and of course, we are CS serving the latest and the biggest coming from the world of sports. Quickly, let's take stories from the world of tennis this afternoon because it's getting more interesting right there at Wimbledon because we are hoping to several upsets. Let's start from the round 1 to round 2. And of course, we are approaching round 3. And of course, we are ready for the big showdown right there in London. Let me confirm to you that from the female category, world number 1, Aria Sabalenka is the only woman of the top 5 seeded advancing to the third round of the Wimbledon in singles. Yes, world number 2 out, world number 3, world number 4, world number 5, all out, remaining world number 1. Aria Sabalenka just yesterday from the men's singles, we saw several games that went down because Cameron Norrie he was in action against Francis Tiafoe, which Norrie won the game in a beautiful fashion 6-4, 6-4, 6-3, 7-6. What a game that we saw yesterday between Cameron Norrie and of course Francis Tiafoe. Also, we saw Nicolas Jarry. He was in action yesterday, winning his game 6-2, 6-2, 6-3. And of course, we saw Rublev. He was in action also and won his game in a very beautiful fashion. And of course, the defending champion Carlos Alcaraz also secured victory yesterday 6-1, 6-4, 6-4. And we saw several other games that went down yesterday. From the female angle, it's getting more interesting because we saw some interesting game that went down yesterday. Madison Keys, she was in action, winning a game in a 2 straight set, 6-4, 6-2. And of course, we saw other beautiful one. World number 1, Aria Sabalenka, won a game 7-6, 6-4 yesterday. Yes, the action continued today from the center court right there in London. And of course, we are open for a brand new day, brand new result, a brand new upset coming from the world of tennis. As we speak right about now, we have Alex de Minaur is currently in action against his opponent. And of course, it's getting more interesting. Yes, from the fourth set of the game, Alex de Minaur lost the first set 6-4. He came back in the second set to win by 6-2, 6-2, 6-4. And currently, we are in the fourth set now, 3-love as we speak. Of course, let's see what will happen at the end of that game. Several other games that will be going down today. Daniel Evans currently in action against the GOAT. Talking about Novak Djokovic, and Djokovic is leading from that 4 sets. Yes, we are hoping to all this game that is going down on the court today. Yannick Sinner also will be in action later today. And of course, we are hoping to see one of the biggest players right there in the world of tennis. From the female angle, we have Emma Navarro. She won a game earlier of today against a very familiar opponent, talking about Kuda Mitova. She won the game 6-1, 6-2. And of course, several other games will be going down right there in the world of tennis. The likes of Maria Zakharova will be in action against Elena Rybakina later today. And of course, Daniela Collins also will be playing a match later today. A whole lot of games will be going down today because the likes of Iga Swiatek also will be in action. These are the stories that are coming from the world of tennis right about now. Let's go back to football. And of course, going to the headquarters of CAF and to give you the latest and of course the biggest coming from the headquarters this afternoon. Yes, the Confederation of African Football is set to unveil the host for CHAN 2026 because the 2024 edition of CHAN, originally scheduled for this year, will now take place right there in August 2025 with Tanzania, Kenya and Uganda serving as the co-host. The CAF Executive Committee is expected to meet this week right there in Rabat, Morocco, where several key announcements will be made. In addition to this confirmation, the 2026 CHAN host, the football governing body, we also review the old city for the 2025 CAF Award. The prestigious award ceremony was hosted in Marrakech in Morocco for the past 2 editions, which Nigeria Victor Osimhen and Ademola Lookman among the standing winner. CAF is also expected to announce the new chairman for the Inter-Club Competition Committee during the meeting. And talking about the Inter-Club Competition here in Africa, CAF have officially announced the outline requirements for club open to participate in 2025-2026 Inter-Club Competition here in Africa. And of course, we have 4 Nigerian clubs: Remo Stars, Rivers United, Abia Warriors, and Kwara United, all secured the right to represent the country right there in the prestigious tournament. First of these outline guidelines for all clubs must compete in the National League recognized by CAF. Home stadium must have a minimum seat of 10,000 capacity. The club must be officially registered with its National Football Association. Club status must align with CAF regulation, demonstrate stability, and of course transparent financial operation. No outstanding debt to player, staff, or creditor. Present a clear financial plan and operational budget free from ongoing legal disputes. Have a system to manage conflicts of interest, and of course adhere strictly to CAF transfer regulation. Number 11 regulation for all clubs that will be participating both at the Champions League and at the CAF Confederation Cup must maintain a functional youth development team, the under 20, and of course the under 17. The head coach must possess a valid CAF A coaching license, and of course operate an active senior women's football team. However, CAF has provided flexibility regarding the female football. Yes, we are open for all these interesting stories coming from CAF this afternoon. All right, away from the African football right about now, let's go straight to Europe and talk about the trending, interesting stories making the round in the world of transfer, because the transfer is getting more interesting, and of course a lot of players are moving from one club to another. Don't forget that Chelsea already in the news, getting players, getting new guys into that team, and of course we'll look into other interesting one on the show this afternoon. Okay, let's start from the Emirates Stadium this afternoon, because Arsenal has been encouraged in their 70 million pursuit of Brazil forward Rodrigo, who is not guaranteed a starting spot under the new Real Madrid manager Xabi Alonso. Okay, that is coming from the Emirates Stadium. Let's see what will happen before the end of this transfer. Atletico Madrid are willing to go all out to sign Tottenham and Argentina defender, talking about Romero, 27 years old, and of course they are willing to put a deal in place worth about 61 million. Okay, everybody's going to the bank to get players into their team. West Ham also has rejected 50 million bid from Tottenham Hotspur for Ghana forward, the Ghanaian international, talking about Kudus, 24. While United with 125 million for Jadon Sancho. Let's see what will happen. Maybe Juventus will get the England forward. Jadon Sancho has always been on the news, and of course I will wait to see what will happen at the end of these transfer. Guys, it's time to sell our BYE on the show right about now. But then we'll be back again tomorrow for the Friday edition of Sports Today on the biggest sporting platform in Southwest Nigeria. On 103.5 FM. My name is Ayomikun Adeniyi. Until I come your way again, enjoy the rest of your day. Stay out of trouble. I'm out of the studio.